Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see from the title, first ride and a review of the new Orbea Rallon. In English it looks like Rallon, but in Spanish it's Rallon. A bit of a Y in there for anyone out there. So I've just pedalled it up here. The road on the way here is a bit mushy, hence the muck and crap that's on the bike. I've just received this week, and this is the first proper ride. I went out earlier in the week, but it snowed. Jesus Christ. But as you can see now, there's no more snow. It's pretty warm, dry, so it's a perfect day to test a new bike. So this is an XL. It's nice geometry. It's got a flip chip. You can have 65.5 head angle or 64. I've got it in the slacker model. I prefer more of a sort of a DH feel. It's got a 485 reach. The wheelbase is 1250. It's got quite short chain stays. They are 435, which is sort of perfect. The wheels are 29er, so it gives that back end a bit of maneuverability on the trails when it gets tight and stuff. Obviously, when the tracks get faster, you know, it gives it more of a planted feel. So I've got the Sun Tour forks and shock on. I'm still trying to get them set up. Obviously, when you get a new bike, things are always slightly different. It's the stuff I used on my previous bike, so I should know them pretty well. We're going to go down the track. We'll show you a first ride on this beautiful day. Hopefully the track's pretty clean. Obviously, going into it blind, you never know what's going on. So the main framing back end is full carbon. You've got like an aluminium sort of rocker link, and there you are in the sun. Isn't it beautiful? Let's have a little zoom in. Sorry about the muck. I'll put up a photo of it before it got mucky, looking all beautiful. So let's get on down the track and go for a first ride. I'll talk you through it as I'm feeling it, see how it feels. I've got a feeling it's going to be quite stable, so let's get on down there. So let's get straight into it, see how this Orbea rides. Flat turn to start with, get a good feel. Yeah, so far feeling pretty stable. My previous bike was a Commissar, and although I had it set up pretty good, it felt like I was always like sat on the bike, where already I feel like this bike, I'm sat in the bike. It gives it that little bit more stability. This is some motors have been on the track. Tight turns, not so bad. Okay, first run on this track. I do know it, so I know I'm going at least. Oh yes. Feeling very maneuverability in these turns. New bikes are always strange because you're obviously used to the old bike. For this one, I'm liking the short back end, longer wheelbase. Gives me that added stability. So I'm 6 foot, 182 centimeters, and this XL is feeling absolutely spot on size wise. There we are. Oh, wow. Wow. For a first ride, first run, for first ride, well, I know I did a ride the other day, but that felt absolutely spot on. Very stable, very controllable. Let me just turn the camera around. So yeah, super stoked on that. I say the suspension, I know anyway because it's from my old bike, but I've never ridden a carbon bike before, and this XL Orbea feels very, very nice. My previous bike was a large, slightly smaller, and like I said in the video, I always felt like I was on the top of the bike and having to make sort of body adjustments to fit properly, where this, I'm sat in the bike. It's a nice size, nice reach. I've got a 45mm stem on. It brings out the handlebars in a little bit. So just get to the car, just have a quick go over the bike, talk about some of the features, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. So let's get on there and have a little bit more of a chat. So hopefully you like that onboard footage. So a couple of little pointers that I love about this bike that I'm not sure many others do. I know Specialized have a little compartment. They've got this little bag that you can hook on, and in there I purposely have tyre plugs and some CO2 canisters. You could add some other stuff in there or a really small inner tube, but I think it's more important to have really essentials in there. I really like the geometry. That felt really good on the track just then. I don't know if you can hear the voice, but it sounded pretty happy. Overall, super good. But there's one thing that I really don't like, and I'm not sure why companies do it, but this in here, the tyre clearance, Orbea say you can run a 2.5 maximum, but the first ride I did on it in the snow, in one of my previous videos, I had a 2.5 MSC hot seat tyre that's on the front. It was on the rear, but in the first run I could already see that there was tyre marks on my frame. So obviously when the tyre flexes and turns and stuff like that, it was rubbing. So unfortunately I can't run the MSC hot seat on the rear, so I had to find a tyre. This is a 2.4 Hutchinson. I have other tyres like Maxxis in Schwabe in the basement, so 2.4s and 2.3, so there's no problem. But I really love this hot seat, so it's a bit of a shame I can't run that on the rear. But other than that, I can't fault the bike. It runs good. I've got the air shock on the rear, and there was a road crossing further up that usually on the Meta, my previous bike, I would jump and it would bottom out no matter what I did. That felt super plush and stable on that drop and the rest of the turns. So hopefully you guys are liking that. The bike is stunning. It's going to be the race bike I'm going to use for the Portuguese Nationals and the rest of the year. Getting used to a bike takes a while, and for a first day, first ride, I feel really confident on it already. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that. As always, I'm Brett Wheeler. You're here in Portugal. If you're liking this sort of video, talking about the bikes, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget that. Press the bell button for the notifications. So until next time, hopefully you're going to see a lot more videos of this, racing the Portuguese Nationals and all sorts of riding. So until then, see ya.